He's gonna take notes.
We not only rebuilt, but we got the funding to do everything we've done. And the support on the funding side has been amazing for us. You know, GHS has been a, godsend to us. And sure enough, we were able to tear everything out, rebuild in Coste, and we have shrimp. You saw shrimp at the micro cap conference. It was phenomenal how big they were. And in fact, one of the big funds we're talking to is because they couldn't believe how good the shrimp was.
Well, now, I've always said, in my voice of reason on the site, that everyone talking about, oh, what about this marketing agreement and that marketing agreement, and what are we doing here and what are we doing there? Stop it. If the concept works and it's provable, that we have proof of concept, that we can grow sushi grade shrimp that will be deliverable unfrozen, and at a reasonable cost, at a good rate, the world's gonna beat a path to the doorway. I mean,
so if we look back to our milestones, one of the things we showed at the LD Micro Cap Conference, I don't know if any of y'all went on the website and looked at our latest PowerPoint and our information, but we put milestones. And basically the milestones from, January or March 18th, we've been able to rebuild in San Antonio. We probably have spent about $4.5 million. I don't have the final numbers yet, but we probably overspent a little bit doing some testing and things and changes. We bought Barrel Blue for $10 million. We owe $5 million on that. We bought F&T's technology that we own all of the shrimp side, but the other finfish side, indoor aquaculture, they own half and we own half. And that's how we started Natural Aquatic Systems. And we'll go back in there in a minute and talk about it. But then we paid $10 million, $3 million cash, $7 million stock. And then we bought Hydronesis, which is the other companion technology. These things fit together like gloves, and it's just perfect for us. We've been able to do all that, get a new office, and here we are today, really ready to roll this thing out. And the unique part of it is this whole new live side is really phenomenal. And I'll let Mark go talk about that. That's his name.
and how's it going in Florida?
It's going great. We're moving through process, it's a political process we're moving through. We probably, if I was to put in a percentage on success, I think we're 80% there. But, until you close it, you don't know.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So the Hydronesis technology, has that been incorporated in Lacoste and in Iowa yet?
You
Or?
want to come here, I'll show you.
Okay.
I'll show you the chart. The chart.
The chart, yeah.
Chart. So this is NaturalShrimp Inc., Board of Directors. As you can see it, we have, to go up on NASDAQ, we gotta have 7 board members minimum. And so we still have one to choose. NaturalShrimp Inc., this is all about NaturalShrimp Inc. Obviously, I'm CEO, president. The accounting's been done in Phoenix. Bill Delgado's the CFO. Bill Gilmore is our technical consultant. He's really the godfather of F&T. His whole designs and his patents around the EC technology. So he's on board. He's our technical partner. He's a guy. He's 82 years old, but he's like 70, younger than me. Then we have Tom Untermeyers, the CTO, COO. We'll end up bringing in a chief operating officer as we ramp on up, but right now he handles both hats. Steve Walker is general counsel. Saw his office up there. He's been involved with us since we started. If any of you saw Tom's basement, he was there in Tom's basement when we first started. This role will more than likely be this guy. Marco, where'd he go? There he is. So, Douwe, obviously he's here, he's my right hand. Little do I know, a chef could be a right hand for a CEO. He's
Always be well fed with a chef.
Well, when you think about a chef, they have to think on their feet, have to be smart. and react. And I keep him on his toes. And then we have MZ Group as our communication IR company. And they're great, really high quality company. And then Paul EE Communications does all the press releases for us. So that's NaturalShrimp as we have today. A lot of key people. Then over here, NaturalShrimp USA is our USA company. If you look at our company, it's structured where we have the US operations. Then we have the new VP of production, Raphael. Oops, can't see his name. Can't see that name yet. Little link.
He's an extra racer on all of our photos.
We did for consulting. He is a consulting president. He's under contract as a consulting president. And then we have Marco here. That's gonna be, everybody's gonna love him because he's gonna sell everything we got, right? Right? On top of that, but on top of that, he now is general manager of Webster City also. He's taken over the hat up there for us. And, we had Katie, she got a huge, job offer in Barramundi, and we wish her well, and everything worked. Good gal. Then Mike Pineda's here, that general manager in Lacoste. This is our JV in Florida. Obviously, we haven't got a general manager there, but it's all set in place as we're moving forward. Mike Pineda also is heavy in construction. He actually helped, oversee all the build out and everything, the cost and everything. And then over here is Hydrogenesis Delta, which is Hydrogenesis. This is one of their PhD engineers that works with us, with Tom and the development program. The development program is the joining of both technologies together into one chassis. And then we have Natural Aquatic Systems. This you hear a lot about. This is Christine, she's the consulting president, of course, she's under contract. Brilliant lady, we couldn't do this without her. And so this is her associate. She's in charge of all the salmon trials, both in Australia and both in Norway, and soon to be one named, hopefully, pretty soon. I better be quiet.
Just letting us know we're trying to get bigger is better. We don't have to know who and where.
Yeah, there you go. So you see, most of these key positions are filled. I'm not having to chase them down anymore. We have another one over here that will be filled. I already know who it is. That's a company we have, it's under NaturalShrimp Global. We've had it, our license, our share, we own a small percentage of the ownership of Gambas, which is in Spain, is a Spanish operation. It all falls under this company, so it is an active company. Any questions?
So that means we're not just here in the United States no more.
Never was. People didn't realize it.
Fair enough.
The one interesting part of this whole thing is Marco has brought on a whole new market segment. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I'll just, a lot of cameras now.
They're not here,
So-
okay? There's no cameras, just.
Obviously, when we did our due diligence before we joined the team, and I'm grateful for the opportunity with Gerald. And when I went to the farms and I was looking at what they were doing, what was the biomass, what were we producing, right? Where can we make the highest margins? Where we can have a high impact on sales in the market as we ramp up, because we need to grow still and retrofit some of the tanks in Webster City and so on. So you can't just have one channel that says I'm going to sell to retailers and I'm done, right? It's not going to work, because one, your margin is not high enough, and two, you need to process that product, right? So we quickly had previously we had a lot of experience in the live market, where we ship it to the Asian markets predominantly, mainly New York and Massachusetts and Chicago, California.
Well, let me clarify that.
Yeah.
Not NaturalShrimp, but the companies.
Different species, right?
Yeah.
But we quickly identified that there was an appetite for a consistency and a species of shrimp going live to these markets, because they're currently buying live shrimp from the Gulf, for example, right? But what happens in the Gulf? It's not consistent, in supply because of weather, of captains on boats, of trawlers, or they would go out and only bring back 50 pounds, or sometimes they will come back with 500 pounds. So we partnered with a person that's in that industry for almost a decade, going out 15 boats every day, catching into Gulf, coming back, right? Never enough shrimp that he can catch in order to supply these Asian markets. So we did our due diligence, we started forming a partnership. And there's also, I think it's very important for you guys to understand, the sustainability from this is unbelievable. Every time a shrimp boat goes out there, there's a 40% bycatch, seahorses and other species of fish. If we supply directly to these Asian markets on a consistent basis and we convert them to our species, we have another channel of market which delivers a high margin because we don't have to touch the shrimp. It's live and they get shipped. There's no debining it, get off, nothing like that. So your cost goes down. So it made absolutely perfect sense to use it as a base model for ourselves to grow, to ramp up as we grow. But it doesn't mean that's where we stop. We also have retailers, I can't name these retailers, that will join with us and have partnerships there, but your margin is slightly adapted there. So we also looked at our business model where we optimize our cash flow, right? So we don't wait 60 days for our money when we sell to Asian markets. We probably get paid in the same, within 14 days maximum. So these small things add value to a business. Then there are big food service companies in this country that are looking for our products. So we are looking into processing our shrimp in a way that we can accommodate that and be consistent with the biomass we can deliver them on a weekly and monthly basis. But as we ramp up, we have our sales covered. And for example, Webster City and Coste, the 25,000 pounds is now dedicated to our natural shrimp, our natural sales and live sales into these markets, supported by people from the industry. And I think that's something that we can be proud of, and it just shows you how we can build our model going forward.
But let me interject just a little bit. I mean, when he brought it to me at first, they wanted to do bait shrimp. We said, no, that's not our deal because, even though there's a lot of margin there, the main thing is, our image on the NASDAQ has to be very high end. And that's where we'll end up on the retail side. The beauty of this thing is, and what was really surprising me, they want 12-gram shrimp. Well, I mean, that's unbelievably small. That's half the size we're targeting. So the point is that, when we started looking at it, our cost of goods is gonna be under $3 on this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, think about that. So it's really intriguing, it's a market segment we never really looked at because we didn't know the packaging. And I should correct that. Dr. Ernst and us, back in probably 2008, actually tried this, and we failed. There was we didn't have the technology, knowledge, or passion for it, I guess you might say. But over the years, as Stephen Alexander's done, he's developed quite a bit, and he's proven. And so we're gonna have fun with it. We'll be doing some testing, I guess, in about a week or so, a couple weeks. Yeah. So that's his baby. He forced it down my throat. And now I'm very happy. Well, it was something we really didn't have in our business plan.
It makes sense for us, right? But there's also another element to that. So all of a sudden your biomass goes up, right? Because your grow out period for shrimp is much smaller. So instead of the 23-gram or plus size shrimp, now you're aiming at 11, 12 grams. So that you can achieve in 8 to 10 weeks, for example. Right? So that tells you how quick we can ramp up the biomass and that we can be consistent in supply. And it all unfortunately, Gerald went for that, so it'd be good now.
He's a good salesman, what can I say?
So were you gonna end up with a production problem?
No.
Supply problem?
No, it makes production easier for us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you usually have more loss in the later stages because they get bigger in the tanks. So it's gonna be fun. We even, actually, Raphael, I ain't even told you, Raphael wants to take and overstock a tank and then partial harvest out the 12 grams, let the rest of the tank grow on that. So we're gonna play with a lot of things that's never been done before.